to interpret and advise us on appropriate actions.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu is currently in a meeting with the Governor of Rivers State, Naval Fubara, Dr. Peter Orderly, a former governor of the state, and the other Rivers stakeholders at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The meeting occurring amid the intensifying political crisis between Governor Fubara and his predecessor, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, is presumed to be focused on resolving the ongoing crisis. Despite the ongoing crisis, Fubara had said he remained hopeful that the situation will be resolved, referring to it as a father and son problem. And the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, plans to hold by-elections and rerun elections across Nigeria on February 1, 2024 to fill vacancies in the state and federal legislature. The Commission's chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, announced that after litigation, the courts have ordered rerun elections in 34 federal and state constituencies. By-elections will be held to fill vacancies created by resignation or death of members. An authentic date and timetable will be released after the meeting with party leaders.
The purpose of this meeting is to brief party leaders on the Commission's preparations for the forthcoming elections to be held early in the new year. The elections are in two categories. First, the election petition appeal tribunals set up in the aftermath of the 2023 general election gradually wind up their proceedings, and as they do so, the Commission is required to conduct rerun elections in some constituencies by court order. Secondly, the Commission is also required to conduct by-elections to fill vacancies arising from the death or resignation of members of the National and State Houses of Assembly. So far, the election petition appeal tribunals have ordered the Commission to conduct rerun elections in 34 constituencies, made up of 1 senatorial district, 11 federal constituencies, and 22 state assembly constituencies. The Commission is looking at the first week of February 2024, that is in just a little over 1 month, to conduct both the rerun and by-elections. At the end of this consultative meeting, the Commission will meet to review preparations and announce a definite date, including the detailed timetable and schedule of activities for the elections.
And the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, has issued an order freezing the accounts of the Oyo State government in 10 commercial banks in the country. The order was issued by Justice Anita Ebong in a ruling on a garnishee proceeding initiated by ex-council chiefs in Oyo State. Sacked on May 29, 2019 by Governor Seyi Makinde, and who in 2021 got a 4.9 billion naira judgment against Makinde and other officials and agencies of the state. The garnishee proceeding is intended by the ex-council chiefs led by Basharum Majid Ajuwon to recover the balance of 3.5 billion naira, which is outstanding from the actual judgment sum, from which Makinde paid only 1.5 billion naira in 2022. And President Bola Tinubu has warned the board of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, that non-performance will not be tolerated. The president, who inaugurated the board of the NNPCL at the State House on Monday, also warned that conduct suggesting a sense of entitlement will not be tolerated.
The members of cabinet and your good self should sit as a team and look at what can we do differently. There's so many ways to skin a cat. What can we do differently to bring up profitability, production, high level, and good governance, which is the key performance indicator? It is all in your hands. work with you in every way possible. But there could be sudden dissolution of the board too, if no performance indicator is exceptional.
The Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Hadarin Daji OPHD has rescued 13 kidnapped individuals in Zamfara State. The rescue mission was conducted along Gobirawan, Chali and Dangolbi areas in Maru local government area. The 13 victims, all from Mutunji village in Dansadao Emirate, Maru local government area, were abandoned by fleeing terrorists and have now been freed. In a parallel operation, 11 suspected logistics suppliers linked to a notorious terrorist, Halilu Subobo, were arrested at Kwana Boko in Zoromi local government area. The suspects were intercepted while transporting essential supplies for the said terrorist figure. And the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja of Nigerian Army Medal, has reaffirmed his commitment in tackling insecurity in Nigeria, as he encouraged retired veterans to support community security throughout the nation. Lieutenant General Lagbaja said this during the graduation ceremony for Trainee Course 2 2023 at the Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, Oshodi, Lagos, Nigeria. The Chief of Army Staff, who was ably represented by Major General Jimmy Akpo, Army Chief of Administration, advised the trainees to put all that they have learned into good use, as well as represent the Army diligently in their communities. Also, the Commandant, Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, Oshodi Air Vice Marshal Adeniyi Ameshinlola, spoke on the achievement of the center during the past 6 months.
All the skills they acquired during the 6 months training here at the center into good use as they retire. They've been taught management, they've been taught entrepreneurial skills, they've been taught management skills, and these skills will become very handy in other vocations that they might devote their time to in retirement. So they are very lucky, I count them very lucky, that they have been fully prepared to transit into a civil life again.
In about 6 months that I have assumed command of the center, we recorded modest achievements in the quest to transform NAFIC into a world-class center of excellence in vocational training. The guest of honor, sir, have been to mention a few. 3 days ago, the center was able to graduate 33 senior officers that participated in the mid-level and senior level cadet officers entrepreneurship and management training. The training was adjudged to be excellent by the participants. Also following the Chief of Defense Staff Director, General C.J. Musa, Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic, the Center initiated and commenced research and development the activities in the Center, as well as farm management training.
I feel happy because the journey of 35 years is not a journey of one day. It has been ups and downs, a lot of obstacles, but I give God the glory. I give God the glory. People see it as a tedious job, but with God on your side, you will surmount all obstacles. I enjoy people that are willing to join the job because it's a job that you'll be proud of. You should be proud of it. So it is a good job, and the day is a good day for us all because we joined as about 300,000, 3,000, and now few of us are going. So we have to give God the glory.
Yeah, in the course of the course, I think we have performed credibly well with high esteem of discipline. I think I want to say, I think we are averagely about 95% of discipline. And to appreciate hard work and nurture strategic development,
The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala Admiralty Medal, has encouraged the Nigerian Navy to reward excellence in service. To this end, Admiral Superintendent and MD CEO Naval Dockyard Limited has given Long-Time Achievement Awards to personnel who have shown diligence and core consistency for over 30 years and above. This award was given on the sidelines of their annual end-of-year celebration at Naval Dockyard Limited, attended by flag officers commanding of various commands, General Officer commanding 81 Division, maritime bigwigs, as well as Rear Admiral Hamza Koje, Group Managing Director, Naval Dockyard Limited, and special guest of honor at the occasion.
There is a general encouragement package for the entire yard, which is something we do yearly. We have a lot of incentives. Throughout this week, we've been involved in our end-of-year activities in line with the plan of the Naval Headquarters. We just key into that, and we've done a lot to encourage them. We've had a volleyball tournament. We've had our own in-house fun games. We've had so many other activities, and this is like the crescendo of everything we are doing for the week. So we try to encourage everybody, but of course, some people have to be singled out for recognition. In fact, we wanted to include those who have done 20 years and above. We found out that there were so many. There were like 25, so we said, okay, let's limit it to 30. So to encourage those who have been working so hard that they are not forgotten and they will always be remembered. In every organization, you will always have outstanding people. You will also have areas of deficiencies. That is why they said that a cord is as strong as the weakest link. So what we try to do in the Naval Dockyard is to manage that weakest link to the point that that cord is not broken. You keep the cord running. And what that simply means is that for a huge structure, an establishment like this, the systems and the structures must be kept functioning. They must be kept running continuously.
In our news reaching us, say after Monday's meeting, the warring parties agreed that all matters instituted in the courts by Fubara and his team be withdrawn immediately. Fubara, Wike, Merhule, and other gladiators in the crisis signed the agreement made available to our station. And the Wike camp also agreed that all impeachment proceedings initiated against the governor by the Rivers State House of Assembly be dropped immediately. The parties in the field agreed to recognize the leadership of Martin Amerhule in the Rivers State House of Assembly and not that of Edison Ehie. The two camps agreed to recognize Amerhule and his 26 allies who resigned from the PDP to the APC. Other resolutions include the remunerations and benefits of all members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, and their staff must be reinstated immediately, and the governor of Rivers State shall henceforth not interfere with the full funding of the Rivers State House of Assembly. The Rivers State House of Assembly shall choose where they want to sit and conduct their legislative business without interference and or hindrance from the executive arm of government. The governor of Rivers State, Sir Fubara, shall represent the state budget to a properly constituted Rivers State House of Assembly. The names of all the commissioners in the Rivers State Executive Council who resigned their appointments because of the political crisis in the state should be resubmitted to the House of Assembly for approval. And there should not be a caretaker committee for the local governments in Rivers State. The dissolution of the local government administration is null and void and shall not be recognized. Meanwhile, Kaduna State Governor Senator Obasani has presented a draft budget of 458 billion naira for 2024 fiscal year to the State House of Assembly. Governor Obasani said his administration will spend 115,421 billion naira from 25.19% on education, and 71 billion naira is allocated to the economic sector, including agriculture, public works, and infrastructure and housing.
The proposed 2024 budget of rural transformation for inclusive development has a total budget size of 454,271,299,477 naira 66 kobo. Our administration places high premium on human capital development. Consequently, education and healthcare sectors are receiving priority attention. We are determined to revitalize the agricultural sector in order to create jobs for our teeming youth population and ensure food security in our state.
He added that implementation of the budgets will bridge the gap between the rural and urban areas, revitalize the rural economies, address poverty frontally, and more.
The budget I'm about to lay before this honorable House holds a great promise for the good people of Kaduna State. Through the effective implementation of this budget, we shall bridge the gap between the rural and urban areas, revitalize the rural economies, address poverty promptly, empower our people, address our infrastructure deficit, and renew the people's belief in governance and democracy. It is a life-transforming budget. I am confident that this respected House will give expeditious consideration to this budget.
The custodians of the people's trust and the guardians of their welfare, it is our duty to scrutinize this budget with the utmost diligence. The budget before us today outlines the financial roadmap for the next fiscal year, and it is crucial that we assess its aligned with the developmental goals and priorities of our state. As we deliberate on this budget, I urge all members of this esteemed House to put aside partisan considerations and focus on the common good. Let us engage in constructive dialogue, ask pertinent questions, and work together to ensure that the final budget serves the best interests of our constituents.
The Nassarawa State Chairman of the Actors Guild of Nigeria, Prince Wilson Kingsley, has badged an honorary doctorate degree in theology from the Cetus Antioch Believers University. A correspondent reports that another resident of the state, Amechi Stephen Ogbu, was also awarded a doctorate degree in the same discipline for his philanthropic gestures over the years. Speaking during the university's 2023 annual convocation and award ceremony in Lafia, the Chancellor of the university, Professor Patrick Eze, said the award was approved by the institution to recognize the sterling qualities of outstanding citizens of a country.
And secular education to men and women across the globe with grace and passion. The task not been too easy, the Lord. We are grateful to God that we have been officially registered Cetus Levitical University by the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
They are excellent people. What they said to do, they do it excellently. And so we are not surprised that today they are being honored by your university. I only want to urge the young ones, the upcoming young people, to copy them. Because without hard work and dedication, discipline, you cannot achieve what they have achieved today. So the upcoming youth should look at them properly as an example, copy them, so that one day we shall either we'll go to Lagos or we'll go to another part of the country to honor them.
The National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, has issued a warning to corps members against engaging in drug abuse, cybercrime, and social media bullying. The Kaduna State Coordinator, Hassan Tora, emphasized the importance of youth service in national intercession and unity, urging corps members to avoid truancy and contribute to national building by settling down and avoiding truancy.
As you leave the camp today, you are expected to report to your places of primary assignments promptly and complete all the necessary documentation. Settle down and avoid truancy. Similarly, Let me strongly warn you to desist from drug abuse, cybercrime, abuse of social media, and any acts capable of endangering your lives and denting the image of yourselves, your parents, and the NYS.
He urged the government to establish an entrepreneurship program that assists corps members during and after their service year in becoming self-employed and labor employers.
The reality on ground is the jobs are not available. So if government could come up with this program by way of training the corps members to learn one skill or the other during the service year, it means government is trying to prepare them to have jobs at the end of the service. Whether the white-collar job comes around or it doesn't come around, at least the corps members will have something doing during the service year and after the service year. So by so doing, we are talking of the corps members who will now be employers of labor instead of looking for the job or instead of taking much of that time in the labor market.
Upon completion of their 3-week orientation camp, some corps members expressed their delight in learning about different cultures of the North.
Amazing getting to Kaduna for the first time. I was actually scared initially, but on arriving camp was really interesting. I met a lot of new faces, people from the East, Lagos. It's just mind-blowing. Kaduna is really interesting. The camp entirely is amazing.
This is the first time I'm traveling out of Edo State. So I really enjoyed myself. I tasted new food. I tried some of their cultures, including my lali. This is the first time, so everything was fun for me. I tried to make new friends. I tried to learn some Awusasha because I studied Tanda, and the person that taught us, she made it so interesting and fun. I tried it for the first time, and it came out so well. I was so happy.
It was a celebration of a life well spent as the late Selimot Olaleye Elizabeth Onasoya, mother of the former Chief Executive Officer of First Bank of Nigeria, Dr. Olabisi Onasoya, is laid to rest. The event organized in Lagos had royal highnesses, businessmen, and managing directors of banks, amongst others, in attendance. Our correspondent Paul George was there.
Different groups, family members, and friends gathered at the Abundant Life Baptist Church, Ikorodu, to pay their last respect to Mama, the late Selimot Olaleye Elizabeth Onasoya, as her remains were ushered into the church. The pastor gave words of exhortation and prayers.
Jesus knew her, God knew her. She wasn't a church goer. She wasn't just going to church to mark attendance. She was a disciple. And not only that, she was a philanthropist. So when a believer, when a lover of Jesus dies, he goes home, he goes to sleep, he goes to rest.
At the reception, class of 1978 of the Eko Boys High School, where the deceased son, Chief Dr. Olabisi Onasoya, attended, were visibly represented. There were mixed feelings for the children, family, and guests as glowing tributes poured in. The first son, Dr. Olabisi Onasoya, eulogized his late mother, speaking volumes of her selflessness and indelible mark she left.
She was the most humble person I've ever met in my life. A very dedicated woman, a very pious woman. Every moment that I spent with her was a moment to remember. And I learned a lot from her. Her native intelligence was second to none. And she brought us up to be pious and dedicated, to be God-fearing, and to respect every other person that comes around us. She was a great woman, a very hardworking woman, and I will miss her.
Dr. Onasoya said he would not think twice to have her as a mother all over again if reincarnation is possible. His wife, Helen, recounted the numerous encounters with Mama and how she treated them with love.
There's no doubt about that. She's the greatest mom that ever lived, and I still have not recovered from the shock of her death, even though we were prepared for that death. May her soul rest in peace.
She was a wonderful mother. She cooks the kokore for us, so she takes care of us. She's good with everybody, even in our area. They call her Mama Ijebu. Mama Ijebu is an awesome woman. When her mother was alive, she used to personally cook for her mother, her mom. She will ground pepper, Ijebu, a kokore, she will do it for the mother. Yes, so of course now, why not? And the son too is very good, wonderful. He raised the children very well. So I love him, I love Mama, I love everything about Mama. Mama did well. May her soul, gentle soul rest in perfect peace.
Former Ogun State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Otumba Dayo Adeneye and Tunde Kpeku also paid tribute, saying it is joyful that our children can carry on the Onasoya's legacy.
We are more than friends. We are from the same hometown, like 2 streets down from each other in Ibefu, in Odogbolu local government. Mama was very dedicated to our children and to our family. And you can see by the caliber of children that she raised. And you can also see by the kind of caliber of people that are here from all over Ijebu, from all over Ogun State, all over Nigeria. So we pray that God will grant her eternal life. And we pray that the family that she left behind, God will strengthen them and give them the fortitude to carry on and continue to make the Onasoya family proud.
If you have the grace of God, you will live long and you live well. And if you're a prayerful mother, your children will get to greater heights. For this day, this is a day that is a day of grace. Because many people don't live as long as 18 years. But she lived 18 years and she has children that are successful, that are going to raise her name above the bar she has set for them. I pray for the family that God will give them all long life, to see their own children, and see their children grow. And take off the shoes. No, if you have a shoe and your leg of your child can fit in that shoe, you are blessed.
Late Selimot Olale Elizabeth Onasoya died at the age of 88. Paul George, Plus TV News.
Still ahead, Burkina Faso slides reshuffle in the transitional government. Details when we return. Stay with us.
An African girl somewhere is sitting at home, accompanied by dreams that seem so far away. Africa is one of the continents with the highest out-of-school percentage in education, and girls are at an early disadvantage. The sub-Saharan Africa records about 18 million out-of-school girls. This gender gap extends to the tech space with a projection of only a 33% global female workforce representation in tech firms for 2022. Let us help change the stories and numbers. Africa Agility's Project Train a Girl campaign is working to help train African girls in tech. You can donate as little as $2 or 2,000 naira to help a girl in tech get her heels in the door. Visit www.africaagility.rallyup.com/PTAG to donate.
And I'm moving on to other parts of Africa. Sudan's center and northern states declared states of emergency on Sunday after fighting broke out between the Sudanese armed forces and the paramilitary rapid support forces nearby. He emphasized that the government of Sennar is ready against dangers, that they are monitoring the entrances and exits of the state, and they will not be tolerant in the fight against the rebels. Referring to RSF, which have been in conflict with the army since mid-April. More than 12,000 people have been killed and over 33,000 injured as a result of the conflict, according to the United Nations. And the president of the transition of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, who came to power through a coup in 2022, carried out a partial reshuffle of his government, notably concerning the head of diplomacy, according to a presidential decree. Under this decree, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Olivia Romba, in office since March 2022, before the arrival in power of Captain Cherry, gives way to Karamoko Jean-Marie Cherry, who was until now in charge of regional cooperation. Over the past 7 years, the violence has cost more than 17,000 civilian and military deaths, according to NGOs, and more than 2 million internally displaced people. An explosion in Inferno at Guinea's main fuel depot and capital of Conakry left at least 11 people dead and more than 80 seriously injured. Authorities said Monday as the West African country awaited help from other nations and the death toll was expected to rise. The massive explosion sparked the fire at the Guinea Petroleum Company depot after midnight Sunday, Guinea's presidency says, and it caused significant damage in the heart of Kaloum Administrative District, home to most government offices. Colonel Mamadi Domboya, who was sworn in as interim president following a coup in 2021, said the state is taking full care of those injured. And meanwhile, 9 people were killed after gunmen opened fire on them at an informal settlement outside the mining city of Rustenburg in South Africa's northwest province, police said Sunday. As police spokesman Brigadier Sabata Mokabon said the incident took place around 9:15 p.m., which is 9:15 GMT on Saturday night. The dead included 5 males and 4 females. Mass shootings have become more frequent in South Africa, where around 70 people were murdered on average every day in April to June 2022, according to the latest national crime statistics. And from news outside Africa, Israel's military says it has discovered distress signals in a Gaza building where 3 Israeli captives were sheltering before they were mistakenly shot dead by Israeli troops. The military distributed photographs of the white cloth signs written in red, likely with leftover food, that were hung on a building about 200 meters to 20 yards from where the captives were shot last week. Hagari said, and however, Hamas has said it will not release any more captives until the war ends. And Hezbollah claims to have carried out strikes on Israel's Iron Dome air defense system, causing substantial damage. The Lebanon-based group said it had hit 2 missile launchers in Kabri, northern Israel, on Monday afternoon. The claim came amid reports that an Israeli missile strike hit a building opposite a Hezbollah fighter's funeral procession in southern Lebanon without causing casualties. Up next, electricity subsidy gobs 376 billion naira. Consumers pay 783 billion naira. That's on business news. After the short break, stay with us.
And a very good evening and a warm welcome to the Business Desk. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, has shown that electricity consumers in the country has paid a total of 267.61 billion naira for electricity in the third quarter of 2023. The latest reports released by NERC at the weekend also show that due to the absence of a cost-reflective tariff, the federal government incurred a subsidy cost of 204.59 billion naira over the same period under review. According to the reports, the total revenue collected by all discos in 2023, which is the third quarter, was 267.61 billion naira out of a total sum of 349.55 billion naira that was billed to customers, which translated to a collection efficiency of 76.56%. The report also revealed that all discos except Eko and Abuja recorded improvements in collection efficiency in the third quarter of 2023 compared to the second quarter of the same year. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, agrees with the World Bank on the underperformance of Nigeria's National Petroleum Corporation Limited, NNPCL, and other government-owned enterprises. They believe improving government revenue requires transparency improvement, and a comprehensive strategy, including privatization options. Associate Director General Dr. Chinyere Amona supports the World Bank's view on the need to adjust petrol prices to reflect market conditions, but does not support an immediate VAT increase. Still in business, the federal government is implementing subsidies to airlines to reduce air travel costs. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, met with airline operators of Nigeria on December 15, 2023. The meeting discussed a passenger form for airlines to fill out, which will be forwarded to the Central Bank of Nigeria, and a 50% refund of the ticket's value after deducting taxes and charges, including the 5% ticket sales charge. Now, the Nigerian banking industry's average net liquidity decreased to 300.68 billion naira in August 2023 from 562.04 billion naira in the previous month due to the auctioning of CBN bills, federal government bonds, NTBs, and cash reserve ratio debits. The CBN has also reported significant CRR debits throughout 2023, with the current CRR being 32.5%. The CBN's economic report for August 2023 showed higher patronage at the standing lending facility over the standing deposit facility. The CBN is currently engaging with stakeholders to maintain confidence in the Nigerian financial sector. And myself in business, inflation in Nigeria is expected to flatten out in the first quarter of 2022 and begin to decline afterwards as the Central Bank of Nigeria sustains interest rate hikes and also adopts measures to firm up the Naira. The CBN Governor, Olabisi, plans to adopt an inflation targeting framework to ensure it reduces a blend of fiscal and monetary policies to effectively tackle inflation. The National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, has released its November inflation data showing a record high of 28.20%. Food inflation rose by 1.32% to 32.84%, while core inflation fell slightly by 0.2% to 22.38%. And as more can take on business, I am Emmanuel Olububukun. The news continues shortly.
And still on business news, a cooperative organization, Universal Learn Direct Academia, ULDA, in partnership with Dams Enterprises Limited, have invited all cooperators, both in London and in Lagos, Nigeria, to take delivery of the first 8 semi-detached terrace bungalow apartments at Bluestone Garden City. The handing over of the keys to the apartments took place at the ULDA cooperatives inside the Bluestone Garden City along Mowe Ofada Road, Ogun State. Our correspondent Paul George reports.
These men and women at the site have come together to help solve one of the common problems of humanity, shelter. On this massive land, they have planned to build 185 affordable housing units along with their partners. The president of ULDA, Lagos and Global, Engineer Olawumi Gaspar, explained why the initiative is important. London branch managing director of the organization, Kola Aregbe, reassured the cooperators of their commitment in completing the project.
We decided to form a cooperative society, and knowing fully well that that's the best way that we can pool funds. Is a success story. Our cooperators can come over to see what it looks like. But I can assure our cooperators that we're all partners, we're all working together. It will be available at a very, very reasonable price, better than the market price. In the next 2 years, we will have delivered fully 185 units.
We've come to first inspect, the work that's gone on so far, in this estate, which is basically owned by a number of members of the cooperative. In addition to actually providing shelter, the people involved in the actual construction are those that have gone through the tutelage and training by our construction arm.
The investor and financier of most of the housing projects, Omolara Hassan, is excited at the level of work done so far. Meanwhile, the financial secretary of the cooperators, Antonia Eke, said there is a window of opportunity for people to be beneficiaries as it will be reopened after the completion of the project.
I know about ULDA from UK, and we decided to partner with them. Although they own the land, but we did the funding to build the properties. As you can see, we did this within, I think, around 6 months, 6 to 8 months. I am very, very satisfied because I can see that all the money that we put out there to help build the property, they put the money into good use.
Window presently for admitting new members into the cooperative has been closed for a while. There will be, of course, opening of the windows for new people, but for now, we are just want to satisfy those that have invested their confidence on us. Our phone numbers is on our website, www.ordercorp.org. Can reach us every information you need to get across to us.
Members witnessed the handing over of the keys to one of the apartments to the beneficiaries. Paul George, Plus TV News.
And Kwara State University Maltese engineering team has successfully converted a petrol engine bus to an electricity-powered one. Acting Vice Chancellor Professor Sheikh Lukman Jimo stated the development was part of the university's efforts to contribute research knowledge to government's efforts in electric vehicle powering following the removal of petrol subsidies.
Importantly, the engineering team in the Center for Sustainable Energy has been able to convert a petrol engine bus to one that is powered by electricity. This achievement came on the heels of the removal of subsidy on petrol and the resultant increase in its price. With this success, the decision has been placed in the lead of rethinking our environmental culture and developing new paradigms for solving problems and ensuring global environmental sustainability.
The graduating students were encouraged to utilize their academic knowledge to tackle societal issues.
The years you spent under our tutelage have exposed you to the requirements you need to face the world. Refuse to be limited by the challenges around you, and instead use the challenges as stepping stone to greatness.
Some say that school is a scam, but it is not. It is a treasure trove of wisdom, a sanctuary of knowledge, and a gateway to infinite possibilities. So for us, the graduating students, as we step into the world that awaits us, let us maintain the high moral standards Kwara State University has inculcated in us. We must not relent in our drive to innovation, ensuring an unwavering commitment to making a positive impact to the world.
And entertainment news is next. Stay with us.
Nigerian singer Tobechukwu Victor Oko, popularly known as Peruzzi, has said he may never work with his colleague Kiss Daniel. He said he and Kiss Daniel worked on a song titled Gwagwalada, but the Flyboy boss gave the song to another artist, BXN Nabuju. Peruzzi said he wasn't consulted before Kiss Daniel went ahead to release the song with BNXN and Shay Vibes. Speaking in the latest episode of the Zero Conditions podcast, he said, Kiss Daniel and I made Gwagwalada together, but he gave the song to Buju. So I think I won't be working with him anytime soon. Right now, I don't think so. Harry's song and KC had a huge fallout in 2016, where the former left 5-star music in a controversial manner. The police got involved at some point and picked up Harry's song following an invitation from the state's ALG of police. Since then, Harry has mainly avoided KC and the record label. However, today he took to Twitter and Instagram to call on Nigerians to beg Casey to pay him all that he is owed. Justin Bieber extends his record as the top act on Spotify's Billionaires Club. With 10,000 hours, his collaboration with country act Dan Shay surpassing 1 billion Spotify streams, Justin Bieber extends his record for having the most songs on Spotify with over 1 billion Spotify streams to 15. With an impressive catalog of chart-topping hits, Bieber continues to hold the record for the most songs with over 1 billion streams on Spotify, firmly establishing him as a streaming powerhouse. The accomplishment comes as several of Bieber's tracks, spanning over multiple albums and collaborations, have amassed a staggering 1 billion streams each, catapulting him into a league of his own. The singer has come under fire for his performance during the church carol. Taking to his Instagram section, he said he has been a member of Harvesters Church for 7 years, and he has been serving in the choir department and venue management. He also went further to explain that the video making the rounds on social media is off a drama he took part of Fantasia, where he had to seduce the king's wife. According to him, the carol service is free and has always been. The idea of the ticket is for registration, as to regulate and make plans for the number of people attending.
Sports news. Stay with us.
League leaders Remo Stars went down to a 2-1 defeat against Kano Pillars at the sunny Abacha Stadium over the weekend. Ibrahim Mustafa gave Pillars the lead 5 minutes after the break. The visitors fought back with Dayo Ojo netting the equalizer in the 72nd minute before veteran midfielder Rabiu Ali fired home the winning goal 6 minutes later. Remo Stars, though, maintained the top position on the Nigeria Premier Football League despite the defeat. At the Lafia City Stadium, Solomon Ogabo and Suleiman Mujiriola were on target as Lobby Stars defeated Doma United 2-1. It was Doma United's first defeat in 9 league matches. Also, former champions Plateau United trashed Bayelsa United 5-1 at the New Jos Stadium. Albert Hillary scored a hat-trick for the hosts, while Silas Nenrod and Izuchukwu Chimeze scored the other goals. Ekesin Okori netted Bayelsa United's only goal of the game. Victor Osimhen's Napoli have been drawn to face FC Barcelona in the UEFA Champions League round of 16. In the draw, which took place today at UEFA's headquarters in Nyon, Switzerland, Arsenal, who finished top of Group B, were drawn against FC Porto, who were runners-up from Group H. In the other fixtures, champions Manchester City will face FC Copenhagen, Paris Saint-Germain will square up against Real Sociedad, Lazio will face Bayern Munich, while PSV will lock hands with Borussia Dortmund. Also, Real Madrid will take on RB Leipzig, while Inter Milan and Atletico Madrid will slug it out for a place in the quarterfinal.
And the main news again. Appeal Court affirms Fintiri as Adamawa governor, fines Binani 1 million naira. And Rivers State Court stops INEC from conducting election to replace 27 defected lawmakers. At least 11 dead, 88 badly injured after massive fuel depot explosion in Guinea's capital. Captives mistakenly killed by Israeli troops left SOS signs in Hebrew. That's the news now. For more stories, please follow us on Facebook X, and Instagram. And do subscribe to our YouTube channel at Plus TV Africa and Plus TV Africa Lifestyle. You can also view us from Limex on limex.tv and Glow TV apps anywhere in the world. I am Destiny Momo. Many thanks for watching. Have a beautiful night rest.
"60 Minutes with Angela" starts right now.